Les Schwab tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, trying to get down. It's like a loop machine.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back, and you know that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
This is Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extra.
Here on the team, you know, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Good evening and welcome to District 1 3A Girls Basketball Playoff action tonight from the Walt Price Fitness Center here on the campus of Everett Community College and Larry Walker Court directly below us right now. My name is Steve Willits. Todd Elvick at the controls, the 5-tool player himself on STSPN, and we are just about ready for game time here as the two teams getting ready to do their intros right now. The Snohomish Panthers versus the Meadowdale Mavericks. A trip to the state tournament on the line tonight. One of these teams will punch their ticket. Fortunately for the other one, they will still have an opportunity to qualify. That'll come on Saturday. And that would be against the Everett Seagulls for the 5th and final spot in the district tournament, coming out of the district anyway, to state. But you'd rather just take care of business tonight and move on and not have to worry about doing anything this weekend, but looking ahead and maybe even having a little fun. It's a 3-day weekend for these kids anyway. As the starting lineups are being announced as we speak. These two teams playing earlier in the season back on February 1st. So it wasn't that long ago. That was 15 days ago. A game in which the Meadowdale Mavericks defeated Snohomish by a score of 74-62. Two coaches out there right now. Kevin Thompson for Meadowdale, first-year head coach. He was on the bench as an assistant for the Mavericks for a few years prior to that. Also has some assistant coaching experiences from Edmonds Woodway High School as the boys coach. And then you've got Ken Roberts for the Snohomish Panthers, entering his 23rd season at the helm of the Panthers. And oh, by the way, both of these coaches, Ken's a Snohomish grad, class of 1986. Kevin Thompson, a Snohomish grad, class of 1989, 3 years apart. Was talking to Kevin about it before the game. They never went to school together. Snohomish back then, a 3-year school. However, Kevin did mention that his sister went to school with Ken, and they've certainly known each other since they were young kids. So a bit of a Panther reunion out here on the floor tonight as the teams are continuing to be announced. There's Jada Andreessen, a school record earlier this season when she hit 10 threes in a game. And you know what? There's another young lady on the other side that she's facing tonight who just set 2 of her own school records 2 nights ago. Meadowdale needing to come through the consolation bracket, defeating Monroe by a score of 73-51. And in that game, number 2, Gia Powell, the star point guard, the junior for Meadowdale, she scored 41 points that night. That is a Meadowdale record, breaking the record held by Kristen O'Neill, who went on to play at the University of Washington. Also in that game, Gia hit 9 3-pointers, breaking the record that was set by Lily Williams just a few years ago. And I'm told that both of those players, by the way, have reached out to Gia and congratulated her on breaking those records. We'll get to the rest of the starting lineups here in just a moment. Looking over at Todd Elvick, are we going to take a break or are we keeping it here? We're going to go ahead and keep it right here as the rest of the coaching staff being announced as we speak. Also the officials out there on the floor tonight. John Brown, Pat Kaminsky, and Trevor Shaw. And this game, if it's going to try to live up to what happened right before it, it's got a long ways to go. Linwood, in game number 1 of the doubleheader tonight, punched their ticket for state with a double overtime victory over the Everett Seagulls. Final score 70-60. Everett led most of the way in that game. I think they even had a 7-point lead about midway through the fourth quarter. Linwood coming back, forcing overtime, not once but twice, and getting the victory. So as we mentioned, Everett still has a chance to get to state. They will play right here 2 o'clock on Saturday against the team that loses this game tonight. Snohomish in the red uniforms coming into the tournament as the number 6 seed. Meadowdale coming in as the number 5 seed. The tip-off, and we are underway. Gia Powell with the basketball there. Kicks it into the corner. Natalie Durbin with a 3, misses it. Ball bouncing around. It continues to bounce, and finally Jordan Leith comes up with it. Swings it across over to Durbin. Drives into the lane. Looks back out. Peyton Fleischman, the sophomore, kicks it out to Ava Powell. We're mentioning just about every player, everyone touching the ball here. To her younger sister, Gia. Gia with the ball. We mentioned 41 points the other night. Will she get her first 2 here? No, it rolls off. Rebound comes down to Snohomish. Now we'll get a chance to call some of the girls in red. Sienna Capali kicks it into the corner. Off in the wing, rather. That was Jada Andreessen. Averaging close to 15 points per game. She misses. We're still looking for our first points of the night. Durbin from 14 feet. She connects. So your starting lineup for Meadowdale. Actually, we'll do Snohomish first since they have the ball. That's Tyler Gildersleeve-Style. She averages 12 points and 10.5 rebounds per game. A 6-foot sophomore. Ball's out on the top there. Already mentioned Sienna Capali. She's number 13, a 5'8 freshman. Young team. Jada Andreessen is the 5'4 senior. She had the ball there a moment ago. We get our first whistle. Cora Larson, also a starter. She's wearing number 10, a 5'9 sophomore. And rounding out the starting lineup, Bella Stitch, a 5'8 sophomore. A lot of sophomores and the freshmen in there. Both of these teams are going to be loaded next year. A lot of young talent on both squads. And that foul was called offensively on Gildersleeve-Styles, her first personal. Ball gets batted away there for a moment. Leith able to come up with it. Gets it to Gia Powell, 16 feet out off the back iron. Sister Ava comes away with the board. Natalie Durbin doing a nice job of working the ball around here. Ava looking for Durbin again. Durbin getting tied up by Gildersleeve-Styles. They're going to blow the whistle and call a held ball, so Snohomish basketball. Looking at the Meadowdale starting lineup, Peyton Fleischman, the 5'8 sophomore out there, wearing the 0. We mentioned Gia Powell already. She is a junior, wearing the number 2. And there's contact right there. Natalie Durbin, might as well throw her name in there while she gets called for the foul. 5'9 junior. Jordan Leith, a 5'8 senior, wears the number 4. And then Ava Powell, the 5'10 senior, rounds out the starting lineup. 6:14 to go here, first quarter. Each team went out with 1 foul as that one was charged to Durbin. Stitch out on top, uncontested. Capelli down low. Gildersleeve-Styles uses the backboard a little too hard. Durbin comes away with the rebound. 2 minutes into this game, still looking for our second bucket of the night. And Durbin gets it over to Gia. Baseline, gets by the defender, blocked by Stitch. Nice job by Capelli to grab it out of the air. Got a little bit of a defensive battle going on here right now. Both of these teams wanting to move on to state. Snohomish was there last year. They took home a 4th place trophy at the Tacoma Dome, defeating Stanwood on the final day of the tournament to do so. Wesco on Wesco action. Gildersleeve-Styles reverse. Can't get it to go. Ava Powell grabs the rebound. Pushes it ahead to young sister. GF floats it up off the backboard in. Gia with her first 2 of the night. 4-0, 5:13 to go, first quarter. Meadowdale came within 1 game of qualifying last year. They lost on this floor to the Everett Seagulls on the final day of the district tournament. Final game of the tournament for the last spot. I should say the final spot. The championship was the last game, and that ball's knocked out of bounds. Ken Roberts, no stranger to playoff basketball. He has led 3 different Snohomish teams to state runner-up finishes, 3 different championship games. Gildersleeve Stiles down low, her first points of the night. In fact, the first points for Snohomish, and it comes a little more than 3 minutes into the game. Durbin lines up a 3, left it a little bit short, hit the front iron. Ava Powell comes away with it, goes up. Nice job by Capelli on defense. And the whistle blows. They're going to say that is Snohomish basketball. Both of these teams like to run up and down the floor. They both like to score. Not a lot going on here tonight. Snohomish getting here by way of the district semifinal game, losing to Stanwood 2 nights ago, 47-34. There's a 3-ball by Andreessen off the back iron. Gildersleeve Stiles grabs the offensive board. Back to Andreessen. That one's going to go into the backcourt, over and back. There's the whistle. In that game, Snohomish had 8 points at the half. It was 20-8. Able to get a little something going in the second half, but too little too late. 47-34 was the final. Meadowdale lost a heartbreaker in overtime, double overtime in fact. There's a shot from the right wing, misses. That was Fleischman with the shot. Gildersleeve Stiles with yet another rebound. Snohomish looking to push, looking to either tie or perhaps take the lead. Larson with the ball right now. Capelli looking down low. Gildersleeve Stiles, beautiful pass, nice finish. Give Capelli the assist, give Stiles her 4th point of the night. By the way, Capelli walking through the parking lot a minute ago, or I shouldn't say a minute ago, it was more like about an hour and a half ago, as Gia Powell goes for the 3. She hit 9 the other night. Give her 1 tonight. There's her first. She's got 5 for the game. She had 4 threes in the first quarter against Monroe. Walking through the parking lot. We're going to give a shameless plug. Why not here? And the Capelli cabinetry truck was out there. I'm guessing somebody from the family getting off work and bringing the large truck out there into the parking lot to make sure they didn't miss the family member playing ball here. CapelliCabinetry.com. I saw the painting on the side of it there. So good to see the family there. There's Ava Powell with a steal. She's going to take it all the way. Lays it up and in. And Meadowdale now on a 5-0 run, courtesy of the sisters. Snohomish getting it over the half-court line there. Trying to get a little something going. Started to mention Meadowdale lost a double overtime game last Friday against Linwood to put them into the consolation bracket before beating Monroe by 22 the other night at home. There's a rebound. Sam Medina coming away with that one, getting her first action of the night, the sophomore. Meadowdale slowing it down for a moment here. Powell sisters working the screen there. Out to Medina, left side. Takes the 3, hits it. Meadowdale on an 8-0 run. Snohomish has seen enough. Ken Roberts wants a timeout, a 30-second timeout. Looking over at Todd Elvick. We will go ahead and go to a break. We'll be right back. You are watching District 1 playoff action on STSPN.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
And welcome back to Everett Community College. Larry Walker Court. Gia Powell for 3 at the top. Off the back iron, was trying to give Meadowdale an 11-0 run. As it is, they are on an 8-0 run. They'd hit 3 consecutive shots prior to that miss. A Powell 3, a Medina 3, and an Ava Powell layup, and that ball's going to go off of the leg of a Maverick player. Snohomish will keep the basketball here. Another substitution for Snohomish a moment ago there. Catherine Green, wearing the number 30, the junior, into the game right now. There's a 3-ball. Andreessen left it a little bit short. And we just mentioned Catherine Green. She comes up with an offensive board, puts it back up and in. Ends the 8-0 run that Meadowdale was on. Makes it a 12-6 ball game. 2 minutes to go here, first quarter. Again, winner moving on to the state tournament. The losing team will have one more opportunity. Gia Powell hits off the iron. Her big sis there to rebound. Back to little sis. 3-ball, hits it. Gia Powell, 41 points 2 nights ago, the school record at Meadowdale. She's got 8 here in the first quarter. And she gets them quickly, too. She wasn't exactly putting those points up in the first minute or two. Attempt for a steal there by Medina, misses it. Andreessen, right side, dribbles in, goes for the pass. Ball's batted away. And say it was last touched by a Meadowdale player. Snohomish with the basketball still with 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. And Audrey Lucas, the 6-foot sophomore, checking into the game. And not a lot of seniors on this floor tonight. Meadowdale suits up 3. Snohomish suits up 3 as well. And the majority of those seniors are not out there on the floor as we speak. Foul is called away from the ball. John Brown, official, making the call. Haven't been a lot of fouls yet. Hopefully we won't jinx that by saying that out loud, as that foul is going to be called on Lucas, her first. 2 team fouls on Meadowdale thus far, only 1 on Snohomish. We've got 1:18 to go here in the first quarter. 15-6 score, Meadowdale out in front. Gildersleeve Stiles kicks it out. 3-ball is up. That ball is off. Kendall Hammer, 5'7" freshman, now into the ball game, throwing up that shot, missing it. The ball ends up going out of bounds. From the Hammer family, a lot of them around the area. Of course, Kendall's uncle, Joey, the football coach at the school. Jordan Leith down low. Kaya Dotter into the game now. Looks down and finds her teammate, Audrey Lucas, with the layup. Dotter just coming into the game and immediately gets on the stat sheet with a nice assist. Lucas with her first points of the night. 17-6 score. Capelli getting pressured by Leith. Kicks it out. Andreessen open look 3. Misses that one. Dotter grabs the rebound. 40 seconds to go. 11-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Medina down low. Lucas puts it up and in. Audrey Lucas back-to-back buckets. It's 19-6. Meadowdale with plenty of smiles right now, and this time Ken Roberts wants a full timeout. We'll take a break. It's all Meadowdale so far. You're listening to STSPN. Meadowdale with 7 consecutive points. They are on a 15-2 run, 28 seconds to go. You're looking at a gentleman right there. You can see the bandage on his nose. That is Bob Anderson, 88 years young. And I was talking to Kevin Thompson, the head coach of Meadowdale. He asked me to give Bob a shout out. Bob has become a huge Meadowdale Mavericks fan, and we'll talk about him more in just a second here, as Snohomish trying to break a press right now. And this is kind of a feel-good story. Maybe we'll save this for the break. I think maybe we'll try to see if Todd will let us keep it right there. Stitch down low, throws up an air ball. Medina tries to grab it, batted away initially by Hammer. They're finally going to say that it is Meadowdale basketball. That was actually Catherine Green that batted it outside. So 7.5 seconds to go. Meadowdale down by 13. Leith, a nice three-point shooter. Let's see if she fires one up here. Aims, fires, and leaves it a little short. Gia Powell at the buzzer. Can't quite get it to go. Todd, can we keep it here? Let's see here. And no, Gia got fouled. I think they're going to put her on the free throw line. Wow. Don't want to give number 2 free buckets and free points. She is a scorer if you'll ever see one. And she's already got, like I mentioned, 8 points in the first quarter. She had 4 threes the other day, and they're going to pull everybody back for Meadowdale. There's 0.5 seconds to go on the clock, so Gia's going to take her 2 free throws. Gia averaging 19 points per game this season. Also averages 6.5 rebounds. 5'8" junior. Hits the first one. Make it 9 points. So Mike Anderson, that gentleman we were showing him in, or Bob Anderson, I'm sorry, 88 years old. Bob's son is Mike Anderson. He's the principal at Cathcart Elementary, and of course Gia makes the next one. She doesn't miss those very often. That's 10 points for her now. And that's the end of the quarter. 21-6 Meadowdale, so we'll finish the story here. So Mike Anderson is the principal at Cathcart Elementary. That happens to be where the head coach of Meadowdale, Kevin Thompson's kids, go to school. And every couple of weeks, Kevin likes to bring a speaker into the school to talk to the kids and give them some encouragement, and he's very fond of the principal at Cathcart Elementary. So he asked Mike if he would come in, and Mike said, I'd like to bring my 88-year-old father, Bob, to come in too. Well, Bob, and this is kind of fun. Bob, I guess, his freshman year of high school, and you can do the math yourself, a long time ago, Bob was a freshman basketball player in Oregon. His team went to the state championship. His family then moved up to Longview. So he went to R.A. Long High School and apparently went to 3 more state tournaments. And I guess Bob came in and talked to the girls about how the friendships he made at state tournaments were friendships he made for life. And he and his teammates and other people he played against in those tournaments would go to state tournaments throughout the years over and over again and continue to reunite and reminisce and go to those games. And the point being that he wanted to kind of really emphasize to the girls what they will get out of getting to a state tournament and how vital it will be to them and how fun it could be. So Bob came in, spoke to them about his 4 years of going to state and how he keeps in touch with everybody. Great guy. And then after he came in and spoke to the team, he became a fan of the girls, and I guess he's been inseparable from their games ever since. So he's there right now watching the game. I think that's Kevin Thompson's wife that's sitting near him there too with their family. So really cool story. Peyton Fleischman with a 3. Misses that one. Going up for the rebound and coming away with it is Capelli, looking to push their other side of the floor. Then Meadowdale with a 15-point lead. Again, they are on a 19-2 run right now. It was 4-4 at one point. Capelli says we'll put an end to that right here. She gets her first points of the night. 21-8 is now the score. And I'm sure the rest of the crew here will... I think we might have a Snohomish story that kind of rivals that one at some point here later on down the road. We'll see if we can find a gentleman we might bring to everybody's attention here shortly. But right now we're watching basketball here. Snohomish trying to get back into this game. And you know when you've got a Ken Roberts coach team and with the talent he has, this game is far from over. 7 minutes to go, first half. Gildersleeve Stiles with the ball. Swings it over to Green. Green loses it. Was it touched? It was. Audrey Lucas with the defense there. 7 seconds to go on the shot clock. Again, game number 2 of a doubleheader. And how can you not feel for the Everett Seagulls girls basketball team right now as Gildersleeve Stiles dribbles it out of bounds. Turnover to Meadowdale. So Everett has played now in 2 district playoff games this week. They lost in triple overtime to Snohomish in the quarterfinals. And tonight they lose in double overtime. There's a bucket by Lucas. She's got 6 for the game. 23-8. 5 overtimes in 2 games. And unfortunately for Everett, they have 0 wins to show for it. They will have one more opportunity to play on this court on Saturday against one of these 2 teams here. Capelli going to her left, guarded by Leith. Pulls up, spin shot off the back of the rim, bounces around. And they're going to say it was last touched by Snohomish, as that was Catherine Green trying to come up with the rebound. And Sam Medina, the sophomore, comes back into the game, checks in for the other sophomore post player, Audrey Lucas. Jordan Leith, 3-point shooter, averaged close to 12 points a game as a sophomore. Kind of becoming more of a role player this year. Ava Powell fires that one up. Hits the inside of the rim, bounces out. Snohomish looking to push. Under 6 minutes to go here, first half. 23-8 is our score so far. Capelli going to her left one more time. Gildersleeve Stiles Nice defense there. The ball goes under the legs of Green, tries to keep it alive and does. Nicely done. Swings it out. Stitch in the corner. Down to 7 left on the shot clock. Capelli spins to her left, fires up a 12-footer, leaves it short. Gildersleeve Styles wisely grabs it. Shot clock at 0. Did it get off in time? It did. And unfortunately for Andreessen, she got backboard but not rim, which means we've got a shot clock violation. So Meadowdale, once again with the basketball, is Kaya Dotter about to check back in. Dotter, a 5'9" sophomore. And the one thing we learned from Coach Kevin Thompson when we had the Meadowdale Mavericks on our Prep Sports Weekly, shameless plug, weekly radio show on KRKO 1380. Daughter's kind of the comedian of the team. She keeps everybody loose and laughing all the time. Leith, 3 ball up in the air, misses it. Everybody going up, comes right into the hands of Ava Powell. She says, I'll take that, thank you very much. Gia with it, gets it taken away. Stitch, tied up by Daughter. Held ball, possession arrow, looks like it's pointing in the direction of Snohomish. And then we're going to get yet another substitution as the freshman Hammer checks back into the game one more time. Snohomish 7 turnovers to Meadowdale's 2 so far. We weren't sure if we were going to have a statistician tonight. We found one. He's the Hall of Famer, Tom Lafferty up here. Tall Tom Lafferty, saving his voice. He'll be calling about 20 games this weekend. Well, I'm off by about 14, I think, but right up around there somewhere. We got a lot of action coming up on STSPN over the next few days. Gildersleeve Styles down low. They can't stop that. Tyler Gildersleeve Styles with 6 of the 10 points for Snohomish thus far. And Gia Powell now finding a double team. Swings over to Daughter, to Leith, over to Medina. Daughter dribbling to the right, throws that to Ava. Ava with a long 2, misses it. Andreessen comes away with the rebound. Snohomish trying to get a little something going here, down by 13. And you know what? That's not a bad option right there. Gildersleeve Styles, when you need a bucket, the sophomore there. I was going to say she's going to be a good one. She's kind of already there. Played a pretty key role on that team last year as a freshman that took the 4th place trophy home at state. Daughter over to Gia. Gia with the left-handed layup, rolls off the front of the rim. Sister there to clean it up, and Ava's going to get fouled and go to the free throw line. And Leith is going to go over and have a quick word with Coach Kevin Thompson. Stitch getting called for the foul, her second. Only 5 fouls combined between these two teams thus far. And Ava hits the first free throw, her 3rd point of the night. 3 fouls for Snohomish, 2 for Meadowdale. And there is point number 4. And the lead back up to 13. Great night here at Larry Walker Court. Going to be a fun weekend here, too. We got the 4A by-district tournament taking place here. The championships are coming up this weekend. Some consolation games tomorrow. Nice rebound by Medina. Gets it over to Leith. Leith being pressured by Stitch. Goes right by her. Andreessen waiting for her. Kicks it up top. Off the wing. 3 ball good. Medina. Funky cold there. That's 6 points for her. Now 2 3 balls. 28-12. If you're over the age of 40, you might have gotten that reference just a minute ago. Largest lead of the night for Meadowdale. Stitch on Powell over to Leith. Slowing things down here a bit. Meadowdale looking to extend on that lead. Daughter over to Medina. She's hot, and she continues to be scorching. 3rd 3 of the game. She's channeling her Gia Powell, apparently. Here comes Andreessen. We know she can shoot. She had 10 threes in a game this year. Gets fouled. You know you're good when you hit 10 3-pointers in the game and you break the school record that's held by yourself. She hit 8 in a game last year. And she also she's got 77 threes coming into the game. Let's see if she can hit a free throw. I might have jinxed her there. Misses the attempted free throw shot. 77 3-pointers on the season. Breaking the record of Crystal Hawkins from the 2001 season. By the way, Jada last year when she hit 8, she broke the record of Cherry Angel from a few years ago. And we got some listeners chiming in. Dan Taylor, I see your text, and I promised the person that I wouldn't bring that up tonight, so I will save that for another day. There is a milestone about to be reached here pretty soon by somebody involved in this game, but we'll talk about that at a later time. That's a tease, folks. Jade Andreessen with a bucket there, 31-13. Might get brought up later this weekend. There we go, Leith with a ball. Little teardropper, misses it there. The ball goes out of bounds. 31-13 right now. Meadowdale up by 18. We might have to fire up the YouTube channel and get that right next to me here during the second half and see if anybody wants to correspond with us. It's always kind of fun to see where people are watching or listening from, as I think Natalie Durbin's going to get called for the foul there with 2:19 to go in the first half. And, in fact, she will. Durbin with her second foul of the game. Got a couple of substitutions coming in right now for Meadowdale. Mia Brockmeyer, the lone freshman on this varsity team, coming in for the first time. And Mackenzie Tyndall, the senior. One of only 3 on the team. 5'11" post player. Going to get her first action here. Mia's another one that can shoot. Meadowdale with plenty of outside shooters on this team. Gildersleeve Stiles. Tyndall guarding her. Kicks it out. Hammer with a throw. Hammer off the front iron. Gildersleeve Stiles with another board. Mentioned she averages double digits on rebounds. And Gia going for the steal, and unfortunately she gets a little wrist, so she's going to get called for the foul. Her first. And that is the 5th team foul against Meadowdale with 1:54 to go. So, of course, as soon as the announcer points out that there aren't very many fouls in the game, we get 3 fairly quick ones there. There's now 8 for the game, 5 for Meadowdale, 3 for Snohomish. Gildersleeve Stiles had a hand in her face that time, left it a little bit short. Tyndall with the defense there as Powell bringing the ball up, guarded by Stitch. And there's the freshman with her first shot. It's going to go off the iron and out of bounds. Snohomish basketball. Cora Larson inbounding the ball. We should say hello to Cora's dad, Dave. I know he's at home watching tonight, been a little bit under the weather. So, Dave, we hope you're feeling better. As we talked to Mom Sarah before the game, and that ball is out of bounds. And it's confusing there, too, because it's a school full of Larsons, including the principal. Or the former principal, I should say, who's now a teacher there. Jeff Larson, who coaches the boys team, no relation. And then you've also got Sarah Larson, the athletic trainer, no relation to Cora's mom, Sarah Larson. So a lot to take in and digest right there. Gia Powell stepping out of bounds and couldn't quite keep her feet in there. Looked like she was trying to do her best Justin Jefferson impersonation. Maybe A.J. Brown will go with the Super Bowl reference since the game was just played, but trying to be a wide receiver, keeping both feet in, and unfortunately a heel came down on the line. We're now down to 1:01 to go here, first half. 13-31, Meadowdale with an 18-point lead. Snohomish trying to get back in this. Larson at the free throw line, over to Capelli. And we're going to get a hand check. That's going to be foul number 6 on Meadowdale. So 1 away from Snohomish getting into the bonus. That may or may not happen here in the half with only 49 seconds to go. And if you're Snohomish, the one player you want to get a foul on there is Gia Powell. And in fact, she just picked up number 2. We'll see if that changes the way she plays defense here in the last minute. And Andreessen, long 3, airballed it. It's going to go out of bounds, and Brockmeyer, the freshman, wisely lets it fall onto the red portion of the court, out of bounds. Larry Walker Court. You think Larry Walker's excited about this weekend? He's got not 1 but 2 grandkids that are going to be playing in the 3A district championship games, I should say, coming up this weekend. Saturday night, we'll be broadcasting both of those. Larry Walker, the longtime coach here at Everett CC. And this ball is going to be slowly brought up the floor. 18 seconds to go. Larry's grandkids over at Arlington High School. Got a grandson and a granddaughter playing. There's a 3-ball. Misses. That was Larson. Gildersleeve-Stiles grabs it. 6 seconds to go. Finds Andreessen cutting. Defense covers her up quickly, swinging it around. There is another shot. That one is also going to be off. That was Cora Larson. And that's going to be the end of the first half. Snohomish has their work cut out for the Meadowdale with a 31-13 lead. We've got 16 more minutes to go to determine which of these teams will punch their ticket to state. Do not go anywhere. You are watching STSPN.
We at Gene Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean, on time, and professional.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Come with us. The new generation. The next level. Sending it big.
You're in for a good run. Let's go.
Come with us to the track, to the trails, to the slopes, to the surf, to the fight, to the race.
Look at this!
To the 4 a.m. starts, training harder, pushing further, hitting back, hard. To the fans, to the followers, and the haters.
It doesn't matter.
Come with us to the blood. to the sweat, and the broken bones. You rehab. We never quit. We never give up. We take control. To the world titles. To the world's first. The world's best.
UFC strawweight champion.
Come with us. We're just getting started.
It's going to be so much fun. I promise you.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Wolfpack, this is Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extract. Take it on.
Here on the team, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boats.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires.
Right side is dropped down after player of the game, senior libero Lauren Riskin has control.
Championship district tournaments, we have it here on STSPN.
Take a nap before the games on Saturday. And welcome back to Everett Community College here at Walt Price Fitness Center. Larry Walker Court down below us. We are just about ready to get underway here. 31-13 first half score. Meadowdale outscoring Snohomish 21-6 in the first quarter, and then a low-scoring 10-7 second quarter. Get you some of the first half stats here in just a moment, as we're already rearing to go here as Meadowdale's going to throw the ball in. By the way, some of the key stats for the first half, compliments of Tall Tom Lafferty, the Snohomish County Hall of Famer himself. There's Kaya Daughter, kicks it out to Ava Powell, to Gia. Gia for three. Nope, Ava tries to go up for the rebound. Unfortunately for her, another very formidable opponent there. Tyler Gildersleeve Styles coming away with the board. So now we'll see what Snohomish can do. Trying to get back in this game, trying to make it interesting. And when Ken Roberts is your coach and some of these young ladies are out there on the court, anything is possible. Larson over to Andreessen. Down to Gildersleeve Styles. And we're going to have our first whistle of the second half, 36 seconds in. Ball is out of bounds. Meadowdale ball. 3-point shooting. That's a storyteller right there for the first half. Snohomish 0 for 11. Meanwhile, Meadowdale was 5 out of 12. All 5 being made by 2 different players. That was Sam Medina, 3 in the first half. Gia Powell had 2. As Medina with the ball right now over to Daughter. The ball is batted out of bounds by Bella Stitch. 17 to go on the shot clock. Overall shooting in the first half. Meadowdale 11 for 29. That's 38% in case Buddy Patrick's listening. Snohomish 6 for 24, 25%. Turnover, Snohomish with 8 in the first half. Meadowdale with only 4. Daughter going baseline on the right side all the way over to the left. Kicks it into the corner. Durbin. Did she step on the line? She did not. 3 ball is good. Speaking of threes, that's her first one. Meadowdale with the first bucket of the second half. Durbin now with 5 points in the game. Gildersleeve Styles on the other end. Up and good. She now has 10 points here out of the 15 that Snohomish has scored on the night. 34-15 score. Medina over to Gia Powell. Kaya Daughter. Medina, the sophomore, going to slow it down a bit. We're down to 12 on the shot clock. Durbin up on top. You're Meadowdale. You're up by 19. Really no need to rush, right? 6, 5, 4. Daughter going baseline. And she gets bumped at the very last moment. Or did she step out of bounds? She stepped out of bounds. Nice defense there by the Panthers. And we mentioned it earlier, a lot of games coming up, and that pass just goes right by Andreessen. So Andreessen and Larson not able to get on the same page. And if you're Snohomish, every possession counts right now. So not a good look for the team in red there. As Meadowdale now with the basketball. Some big games coming up right here in this building over the next couple of days. Always a fun time, especially the last few years since they moved a lot of the tournaments over here. There's a 3 by GM, misses it. Gildersleeve Styles with yet another rebound. Going to swing that to Capelli, up to Andreessen. 3 on 2, they've got numbers. Decides to pull it out. Larson to Capelli, they nicely swing it to the left side. Andreessen missing yet another 3 ball. And that ball's going to go out of bounds and will stay right here on this side of the floor. 5:50 to go in the third quarter. And the announcer jinx perhaps for Andreessen tonight. Still looking for her first field goal. She's got 1 point this evening. She's going to maybe take a look here. Drives in, throws it out to Larson on the left side. Ava Powell and Gildersleeve Styles get tied up, and they're going to say that Powell got a piece of the arm there, so she's going to get whistled for the foul. First one for the senior. We've got 4 basketball games taking place here on this floor. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. 4 games tomorrow. The first 2 will not be broadcasted on STSPN, so you might need to get here for those, and they're a little bit earlier. We've got 2 Wesco 3A, I should say District 1 3A boys basketball games. This is the consolation bracket, very similar to the games you're watching tonight, in that these teams will be playing for the right to go to the state tournament and to qualify. However, the 2 losing teams tomorrow in these 2 games are going to be playing on Saturday for the last spot for state coming out of District 1. So tomorrow at 3 o'clock, you got Marysville Getchell against Mount Vernon right here on this floor. And then at 4:45, it is Everett versus Shorecrest. So again, the winner of those two games, they'll punch their tickets to state. They'll wait until next week to find out where they'll be playing or who they'll be playing. And the two losing teams tomorrow will have one final chance at 4 o'clock on Saturday right here on this floor to qualify. And again, those games will not be broadcasted. Gildersleeve Styles. And then tomorrow night, the by-district 4A, that would be Wesco and Kingco, by-district championship games for the boys and the girls. Two games that will be broadcasted on STSPN. Unfortunately for the Wesco schools, they're all Kingco teams in that tournament. Andreessen still looking for her first three. Nice job by the senior. Or that was actually Lucas, the sophomore, coming down with a rebound. Powell along the baseline slows it down. So tomorrow, the girls' game at 6:30 will be Woodinville versus Eastlake. There's a nice move by the sophomore Lucas down low. Give Audrey yet another bucket. She's got 8 points this evening. And Meadowdale with their largest lead of the night at 21. Capelli not wasting any time, getting the ball down quickly. She and Larson playing a quick game of catch. Setting it up for Gildersleeve Styles. Nicely done as she swings it over to the left. Ball is batted away by Ava Powell. 13 to go on the shot clock. 13 on the number in the jersey for Capelli. Misses the shot. Stitch does a nice job to tip it away from Powell. They're going to tie up with one another. Possession arrow showing for Snohomish. So Woodinville versus Eastlake, the 6:30 championship game tomorrow night right here on STSPN. One of those two teams will be cutting down the net after the game. And then scheduled for 8:30 is the boys championship game. That's Issaquah versus Mount Si, also right here on STSPN. Natalie Durbin checks out of the game for Meadowdale. Bella Stitch going out for Snohomish. She's replaced by Kendall Hammer, number 40. And Peyton Fleischman, number 0, into the game for Meadowdale. Nice look there for Catherine Green. Just has it roll right off the front of the rim. Meadowdale with the basketball. And then it's going to be a quadruple header here on Saturday, although STSPN only broadcasting 2 of those games. Leith in the corner to Lucas. Lucas goes back up. Nice defense by Green. Fires it up over the rim. Gildersleeve Styles comes away with it. As we're approaching the halfway mark here through the third quarter, and that ball's going to go off the leg of Ava Powell. They'll say kick ball, so that'll reset the shot clock at 30 seconds. So we already know who the 2 championship games are going to be on Saturday night for the District 1 3A boys and girls. 6 o'clock, it is the Stilley Cup of basketball. It's 2 teams that have been top of Wesco all season long. It's a rematch of last year's District 1 championship game. Hammer with a 3. Can't get that one to go. Ball is touched by both Green and Lucas. They're going to say Green touched it last. Or no, that's Hammer. No, it's Green, Catherine Green. 30 and 40. It's the 0 on the end. So we finally got it established which one it is. Meadowdale coming up with the basketball. Arlington and Stanwood, the top 2 teams in Wesco girls action. Playing for the second time this season at 6 o'clock. It was a good game last time, and whistle blows there as it looks like Lucas is going to go to the line. Fouled by Catherine Green. Last year, Arlington getting the better of Stanwood in that district championship game, although Stanwood was up by, I think, 10 points at the half before Arlington came storming back. A couple of Division I signees going to be playing in that game as Lucas hits the first free throw attempt. And Brooklyn Gildersleeve Styles checks into the game for the first time tonight. Taylor's older sister wearing the number 14. Lucas hits that one. She's into double digits now with 10 points. So Stanwood and Arlington, the girls' game. You've got Jenna Villa, who is signed to go with Washington State University next year, against Vivian Barrett. Her name is Viv. Going to the University of Hawaii next year. Andreessen looking for the 3. She connects. First 3 of the game for Jada. Makes it a 38-18 game. She now has 4 points on the night. And then the 8 o'clock game on Saturday, the boys' championship game. Mount Lake Terrace Hawks, the number 1 seed in District 1. The defending district champions. They're going to take on the Arlington Eagles. So both Arlington boys and girls making it to the championship. Audrey Lucas one more time. She's got 12 points now tonight. 40-18 is the score. 2:38 to go, third quarter. Andreessen up on top. To Brooklyn Gildersleeve Styles. Ball is knocked out away by Ava Powell. A couple of 14s who both have their younger sisters on the team with them. I'm going to say it was knocked out of bounds by Ava Powell, and that's going to keep the possession with Snohomish here with 11 seconds to go on the shot clock. Again, if this outcome keeps up the way it's looking right now, as here comes Andreessen into the lane. Defended by Lucas and isn't able to get the basket to go. We get a whistle there as the ball came off the rim. And they are going to call that one on Catherine Green. Her second personal. Third team foul against Snohomish here in the second half. If this score holds, or I should say the differential here, Snohomish would fall into the consolation bracket and take on Everett. Again, right here in this gym, 2 o'clock for the final District 1 berth into the state tournament, with the losing team seeing their season come to an end on Saturday. That's the nice thing about having 5 teams and coming out of District 1. 2 losses here this quickly in the tournament does not mean that you are eliminated necessarily. As Green is going to go to the foul line, she gets hit on the shot attempt. I'm going to call that on Audrey Lucas, her second personal. And if we should venture to take a look ahead here for a moment. Everett and Snohomish, it would be the third time they've played this season, as we're going to get a couple of players checking back into the game. Kaya Dotter and Sam Medina both coming back in for the Mavs. Green missed the first shot, misses the second one as well. Brooklyn Gildersleeve Styles with the rebound. Back to Green, underhand layup, misses it. Meadowdale comes away with it. Earlier this season, Snohomish lost to Everett by 26 points. However, last Friday night, those two teams played a triple overtime game over at Everett High School. There's a 3-ball by Gia. Her first points of the second half. She's got 13 for the game now, 43-18. So Snohomish and Everett played a triple overtime game just 6 days ago. And it looks like they might be playing again on Saturday for the rights to go to the state tournament. You don't want to miss that game. I would strongly recommend people get out for that one. Andreessen misses the layup. Powell comes away with it. Meadowdale already up by 25 and looking for more. Slowing things down a bit. We're under a minute to go, third quarter. And we'll see how Kevin Thompson wants to play this one in the fourth quarter here. He's got his 3 of his starters out on the floor right now. Gia, spin move, puts it up, 12 feet out, bounces around on the rim and falls into the cylinder. Gia with 15 points tonight. 45-18, all Mavericks this evening. As the ball being worked around, Andreessen, Brooklyn Gildersleeve Styles, Capelli, Green, and Hammer all out on the floor. Count the baskets. Jada Andreessen, her second field goal of the evening. Gives her 6 points on the night. She's going to try to make it a 3-point play. 45-20 is our score. Third team foul, 19.5 left. Jada with 6 points here in the quarter. Gia slowly bringing the ball up, being guarded by Andreessen. The junior with 41 points the other night, looking for more here. Misses it. Ball rolls around a little bit. Ava Powell grabs it. Green gets her hand in there, and I think she knocked it off of Powell. Nice job by number 30 for Snohomish, Catherine Green, the 5'11" junior. 2.8 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Andreessen with 1 second. 0. Did she get the shot off? Ooh, it doesn't matter. It's a little short. So 8 more minutes to go. Meadowdale 45, Snohomish 21. You're watching District 1 playoff basketball on STSPN.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
the end, we're fighting for each other.
Wolfpack, this is Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot and extract. Take it on.
Here on the team, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boats.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
And we are back here at the Walt Price Fitness Center, Everett Community College. 8 more minutes to go as Meadowdale looking to punch their ticket to the state tournament under the first-year head coach, Kevin Thompson. Snohomish needing some points, and they need them fast, down by 24. And that pass is going to go a little astray and out of bounds. That's Tristan Criswell, the 5'4" senior guard, her first action of the night. 11 turnovers now for Snohomish. As Tom Lafferty keeping some stats. I thought he was playing air drums for a minute there. It turned out he was holding up 2 ones for 11 turnovers. And there's a tie up there on the missed shot. Going to call a held ball, possession arrow pointing towards Meadowdale. Durbin, Lucas, both of the Powell sisters, and Leith on the floor for Meadowdale. You've got Triswell, Hammer, Green. And there's a Gia Powell reverse layup. What can she do? Also, Ava Kendall into the game right now, too. Number 24, getting her first action of the night. She's on the floor. And then Brooklyn Gildersleeve Stiles rounding out the 5 that are on the floor for the Panthers right now. And there's a held ball. It's going to stay with Snohomish. Started to mention this earlier. Again, the championship games on Saturday night. Kind of a cool storyline. It's Arlington boys and Arlington girls. And this court is named after Larry Walker. You can see it there in the writing on both sides of the floor. There's a steal. Durbin coming down, slows it a little bit there, kicks it into the quarter. Jordan Leith for 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net. It's kind of what Jordan Leith does, her first 3 of the night. 50-21 right now. Larry Walker Court, Larry Walker's grandchildren. His granddaughter Jersey Walker plays for the Arlington girls basketball team. And his grandson Leighton Martin is the starting guard for the Arlington boys basketball team. And they're both going to be playing on Larry Walker Court right here at Everett Community College on Saturday, trying to win district championships. Very cool story. And Larry Walker doesn't miss too many of those games either. We certainly see him at plenty of Arlington games when his kids or grandkids rather are playing. Lucas with the ball, double teamed, and we're going to get a whistle here with 6:21 to go. Good crowd for a Thursday night too, especially when you consider that neither of these teams with a chance to be eliminated tonight. Really good crowd for the Linwood Everett game right before this as well, and they were treated to a special game, a double overtime game. Lucas down low, up and underneath. Green gets it to fall. Lucas with 14 points tonight. She's certainly having herself quite a game. Don't have her season stats, but she's got to be getting close to her season high. Jordan Leith with the steal, and she's going to take it all the way to the bucket. That's 5 points for her in the quarter. 5 points on the night. 54-21 now with 5:51 to go. And that is number 12, Brenna Yellow-Wicki, the freshman into the game for the first time now. As Ken Roberts emptying his bench more and more, getting the youngsters in on the action. Going to get yet another whistle as Sam Medina looks to check in for Meadowdale. And that is going to be called on Ava Powell. And Audrey Lucas with her 14 points is pulled, and I'm guessing she's probably done for the night as she gets a nice round of applause over there on her sideline. Catherine Green rolls around and finally drops in for a bucket. She has 4 points on the evening. And again, we wanted to take a moment to thank the Larson family in Snohomish for making sure we were able to bring this game to you tonight. And again, this one was not originally on the schedule. So Dave, Sarah, and the rest of the family, thank you. And there's a 3-ball. Sam Medina getting in on it again. 12 points for Medina tonight, all by way of 3-point shots. 57-23. They even brought you a hat here to wear, Todd. So there we go. Ava Powell with the breakaway. And it is now a 36-point game. It is all Meadowdale this evening. Grit, handcrafted wood. So we thank the Larson family for that. It'll look good on Todd as he's driving the big red truck around town. Ball is knocked away there. Durbin hits it to Ava Powell, kicks it ahead to Gia. Gia getting bumped, misses the shot. Medina kicks it back out to Gia. Why not another 3, she says. Hits the back iron. Durbin comes away with it. Jordan Leith, she's already got 5 points for that fourth quarter. Looking for 3 more. She misses that one. Gia Powell playing as if it's a tie game. The junior with a high motor. One of the top point guards really in the state for that matter. Been phenomenal all season long. She was magnificent against Linwood last week in that double overtime loss. Hit 2 huge 3-pointers with under a minute to go in regulation. In a game that looked like it was going to be all Linwood with about 45 seconds to go until Gia came up with 2 shots, one of which was off balance. And Meadowdale's going to sub out 3 more players. So Jordan Leith, Gia Powell, Ava Powell, all heading to the bench. Got to assume they're probably done for the night. Peyton Fleischman into the game again, the sophomore. Kaya Dotter checks back in, as does the freshman, Mia Brockmeyer. Fleischman, only a sophomore. Fleischman, by the way, we talked earlier about how Gia has 2 school records now after the game on Tuesday. If you weren't listening earlier, Gia Powell had 41 points against Monroe on Tuesday. She set the Meadowdale all-time school record for points in a game, held by Kristen O'Neill, who, by the way, went on to play at the University of Washington. Also, her sister Kelly O'Neill was pretty good, too. Not only did she play at the University of Washington, she played in the WNBA. So she broke Kristen O'Neill's all-time individual game scoring record, and she also broke Lily Williams' all-time single game 3-point record with 9. And both of those young ladies reached out to Gia afterwards and congratulated her. In fact, Kristen's brother, Roger O'Neill, is the head basketball coach for the Meadowdale boys team. Pretty darn good basketball player in his own right back in the day. Ball's kicked around. Brooklyn Gildersleeve Styles hits it. Why not? The junior, no matter what the score is, you get a 3-ball like that in a district playoff game. It's always fun to say you got one of those, and she connects. Her first points of the evening. Here comes Medina. Ran into Roger O'Neill last night at the boys semifinal games that were taking place over at Jackson, and I asked him, I said, does your sister know that about Gia breaking the record? I kind of already knew the answer, of course, and he said, oh yeah, he called her up and made sure she knew about it. And of course, Kristen then reaching out to Gia, and also Lily Williams, who had the single game record. She now is a student down at the University of Arizona, and she reached out as well. So we will take a quick break and come right back for the final 2 minutes and 46 seconds. We're hoping to have a player or players of the game as well for a post-game interview. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this. .245 and counting to go here. Fourth quarter in a game that is all Meadowdale tonight. 59-26. And the freshman, Mia Brockmeyer, gets on the board. Her first 2 of the game. 61-26 is now the score. 35-point lead, and there's a foul as Kaya Daughter is going to get called out near half court there. So again, we talked to both coaches before the game about maybe getting a player or players to come up and visit with us after the game to talk about the importance of the win. So we'll see, hopefully, if Kevin Thompson can remember that. I know it's a big night, so a lot going on. He's usually pretty good about that. Good guy, too. We like Kevin Thompson, the coach of Meadowdale. Snohomish alum, so he's going against his old team, and his kids are more than likely going to be Glacier Peak students eventually down the road, younger kids. And there's a layup. Kaya Daughter says, I want in on this. Her first points of the game. Everybody trying to get on the scoreboard right now. And one nice thing about a game like this, and again, Snohomish is not eliminated after this. So if there is a silver lining for both teams, really, you're able to get everybody on your team into this game. And this is a special place. I mean, this is a really nice moment. Obviously, both of these teams like their home courts. There's a 3 ball. No, just a little bit off there. Might have been a long 2, as I think Brockmeyer's foot was on the line. Regardless, it goes out of bounds. Oh, Tom Lafferty's telling me it was a 3. It was a miss either way, so it goes out of bounds. 1:25 to go. But for these young ladies to get a chance to play on this court in a game of this magnitude, win or lose, it's a special feeling. So it's nice that they're able to get out there and get some minutes tonight. And certainly for Snohomish, you want to save up some of these players for Saturday. Have another big game coming up. Who knows? You're hoping maybe Everett's a little tired. They played a double overtime game tonight. In a game that went right down to the wire, so their key players were all playing high minutes this evening. And the free throw was missed. That was Brenda Yalowicki, the freshman. Daughter kicks it up. That's Mackenzie Tyndall, the senior. And she's going to get fouled. Tyndall also looking for her first points of the evening, so she might have a chance to get that right now. Fouled by Morgan Sweet. We haven't had a chance to call her name yet. Number 5 for Snohomish. 5'8" junior. And we were talking to Ken Roberts on our radio show, I guess it was last week. And as he was pointing out, I think at the time, Wesco had 6 of the top 16 teams in the RPI rankings in the state. But as Ken was mentioning, the RPI rankings aren't always accurate, especially when you've got so many quality teams in one conference. He said, really, realistically, 6 of the top 12 teams in the state right now reside in Wesco, and 2 of them are on this floor right now. And the thing that's going to be fun for next year, both of these teams, and really it's not just them, Linwood, Everett, both are so young. A lot of players coming back. And you know what? Stanwood's going to lose Vivian Barrett. Arlington's going to lose Jenna Villa, but those 2 teams also have a lot of good young players. So those 6 are just going to get, I shouldn't say stronger because those 2 might take a little step back, but even if they took a small one, they're still top of the mountain right now. It's going to be a fun conference next year too. Of course, Wesco producing 3 of the top 6 teams in the state last year at the tournament as Tyndall misses that 3. Fleischman comes away with it. Kicks it over to Brockmeyer into the corner there. Kaya Daughter thought about a 3. She finally pulls the trigger and misses it. Fleischman, the sophomore, running back up the floor. Saw her brother Chase down there. He's a point guard at Briar Terrace Middle School. They went undefeated at 7th grade at Briar Terrace. For an undefeated team, he averaged about 20 points a game. There's a 3 ball at the buzzer. And that'll do it. The final score, Meadowdale 64, Snohomish 26. The Meadowdale Mavericks have punched their ticket to the state tournament. Congratulations to the Mavs. Coach Kevin Thompson and his assistants, he's got a lot of them down there. Nicole Brecka, Joe Cooper, Trevor Gray, Kristen Hammersmith, Cassie Schmidt, and Hendy Ritzky. Also, Robbie Bissett. He's been the athletic trainer for many years for this program and wears his the school colors on his sleeves, even though he went to a rival school as a student, but he's certainly been a part of the Meadowdale family for many years and always a good resource for me when I cover Meadowdale games as to what they're doing. So Meadowdale is on to state, and again, this Snohomish team will regroup, very well coached. A lot of quality young players on this team, and they should have a great game coming up on Saturday. Again, they're going to take on Everett, a team that they just played on Friday night, a game that went to triple overtime. So you do not want to miss that. And it looks like, I think a couple of the players might be on their way up already. Should we go ahead and throw it to commercial and come back? They got a little bit of a walk, so we're going to take a break. We hope to have some player of the game interviews right after this.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires.
Come with us. The new generation. The next level. Sending it big.
You're in for a good run. Let's go.
Come with us to the track, to the trails, to the slopes, to the surf, to the fight, to the race.
Look at this!
To the 4 a.m. starts. Training harder, pushing further, hitting back. Hard. To the fans, to the followers, and the haters.
It doesn't matter.
Come with us. To the blood, to the sweat, and the broken bones. Cue rehab. We never quit. We never give up. We take control. To the world titles. To the world's first. The world's best.
UFC strawweight champion.
Come with us. We're just getting started.
It's going to be so much fun. I promise you.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Wolfpack, this is Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extract. Taking on heavy.
Here on team, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, And it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Put up my hand.
And welcome back to the Walt Price Fitness Center here on the campus of Everett Community College. We are back with our players of the game, the Meadowdale Mavericks, again punching their ticket to the state tournament. 64-26 win tonight. And joining us, Gia Powell and Audrey Lucas. Gia, you made it look easy tonight. I mean, obviously you played this team already before. You kind of knew what to expect. I can't think even in your wildest thoughts you were thinking 38-point win, were you?
No. We knew Snohomish was going to be a tough team, We only beat them by 12 the first time, and we played a really good game that game too, so.
Was there a moment in the first quarter where you thought, yeah, it's kind of getting away from them early and quickly, and I think we got this tonight?
I mean, we've gone up super, a lot in first quarters before, but it's kind of like a habit of ours to let them come back and, go on these runs, but we just kept the run going the entire game.
And it seemed to work. And then Audrey here, I think we had you down for, 14 points tonight? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Tyler Gildersleeve-Stiles, a very formidable opponent. She's had a great year, a great career in just 2 years, and yet I kind of thought maybe it would be the perimeter players that we're going to need to get going tonight. You had your night down low, 7 different buckets in there. What was it like for you this evening?
I was really nervous because it's just a big game and this gym is huge, and I don't know, it's just you just gotta not let the pressure get to you and just calm down, and then yeah.
And that's something we don't really talk about a lot. The fact that this is a college gym, 10 feet longer than a high school gym. Yeah. Is it that much noticeable when you're out there?
Not really. I mean, the three's a little bit far, we were getting a little confused on that, but besides that, it's not really that different.
It's the double line thing, right?
Yeah.
Gia, tell me a little bit about shooting threes here. What is it like for you as opposed to in the stable or anywhere else?
I mean, I think warming up, my three was not hit, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have a bad shooting night. But I wasn't really fazed by the lines. I shoot pretty deep sometimes, so it's whatever.
And speaking of shooting, I'd be remiss if we don't talk about this for a minute. 41 points 2 nights ago.
Yes.
I mean, you think about some of the great Meadowdale players that have played there. Quinn Brewy, the O'Neill sisters, and Caitlin Hubner now. To break that school record for points, what does that mean to you? And when did you know you had it at some point?
I actually didn't know I had the school record in points. I knew I had the record in threes. But I've honestly been looking at that record since probably sophomore year, and I that was my goal to break it. So it felt really good. So.
And we should point out that at Meadowdale High School in the hallway there is a chart that shows all of the records for various stats. So it's kind of hard not to see it when you walk by there and you see Kristen's name up there each and every day.
Yeah.
Have you had that moment in the last 48 hours where you've walked down that hall and you've kind of looked up and I don't know, maybe it's been changed already, but at some point, hey, that's going to be my name up there now?
I've definitely looked at it, and I mean, yeah, it's a lot to process, but yeah, it's cool.
So I got a little birdie told me that perhaps Kristen and Lily both reached out to you and both congratulated you. Is that correct?
Yeah, they reached out to Kevin and gave me congrats, so yeah.
Kind of means something to you? I mean, obviously, I'm guessing maybe, who knows, did you watch Lily play back in the day?
I did watch Lily. Lily's a fantastic shooter, and, I've looked up to her. Because Ava, my sister, obviously played freshman year with her, and I went to most of the games, so yeah.
So there may be 1 or 2 other records you might be aiming at the next year or so here, huh?
Yeah.
Audrey, is it kind of synced in yet that you're going to the state tournament?
No, no, not really. It's crazy, to think about that we can actually make it to state, because we were here last year and we lost, and now we won here and we proved ourselves.
Well, and I was going to ask you about that. Maybe I'll ask both of you, but I'll have you start. Last year against Everett, loser out, winner moves on. You end up going home. I've got to think that feeling kind of sticks with you for a while. Was that a motivator for this season and getting to this game tonight?
Yeah, all season we've been talking about going to state, just getting there and working our hardest. We've been working all year to get there, and now we're almost there.
You're not almost there. You're actually going. You've got more work to do, but you're certainly on your way. And Gia, what about you? What did you take away from that tournament last year? And in terms of how it motivated you?
I think just taking that, and I just knew we wanted to redeem ourselves on this court. We didn't want to play Saturday. We wanted to, get a bye. So, yeah.
Kind of a cool moment too, Audrey. We saw, I think, down the stretch there in the fourth quarter, 3 or 4 different players that hadn't scored in the game were all starting to get buckets. Kind of nice in a game like this to where you can kind of empty out the bench, and a lot of those girls practice hard during the week, and it's kind of nice to see them get to the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, we're cheering them on. We're trying to get everyone a basket and get on the board.
And you came pretty close tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does the next week look like? Are you going to be does coach start scouting? Do you kind of help him out? I mean, obviously you don't know exactly who you're playing, but you can start to look at RPIs a little bit. Is it just about playing and practicing your own game, or what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I think we'll definitely, take what we need to improve on and just work on that and continue, on this momentum that we have and just keep going after it and practice and pushing each other.
And it seems to be working again. After a heartbreaking double overtime loss last week, you come back with 2 huge wins this week, and you're on to state. Audrey Lucas, big game tonight. Gia Powell, you as well. Congratulations. You are our athletes of the game. And do we have the shirts over there?
They're right there.
They're right there. We're going to... Oh, there we go. We got one right here for you here. We should probably hold this up and let you take a look at this. So it's called taking care of our sponsors here as well. So there we go. There we go. There's the Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game. We got one shirt for each of you there.
Thank you.
Audrey, Gia, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on the victory and on going to state. Best wishes to you and the Mavs.
Thank you.
So there you go. 64-26 is the final score. It is all Meadowdale tonight. For Todd Elvick, for Tom Lafferty, who helped us with stats, and everybody in the big red truck, I'm Steve Willits. Thank you for listening. Don't forget 2 more games tomorrow, 2 more games on Saturday right here on STSPN. Plenty of district playoff action coming up. Have a good night.